The 25th of July, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Got it. Very nice. Okay. Baruch Hashem.
It's only A4 size.
Mm-hmm.
That is it. Although the painting itself is much bigger.
Oh.
It's anyway. So
Where's that painting hanging now?
at the moment, it's stacked in my studio somewhere.
Oh. Okay. Very good. Thank you for showing us that.
Mm.
Okay, and welcome to Phil. Good morning, Phil.
Good morning.
Hi.
Okay, well, welcome back to everybody. We are ready to go. Bava Kama. And we are up to Haki Hashta. Haki Hashta. I don't know exactly why the Gemora is asking that question. Haki Hashta. We just got through saying that. As a matter of fact, we're now on 97A. We turned the page, Baruch Hashem, and we had a round of applause for 96B. And now we're up to Haki Hashta. Haki Hashta is
Right column.
Oh, I see. I was looking at the left-hand column. Yeah.
so what's going on over here is that the Gemora has said that Rabbi Yochanan, I'm sorry, not Rabbi Yochanan, Rav, who paskined like Rav Meir. That's what he's recorded as paskening like Rav Meir in our Gemora, and we said that really that reflects the view of the Chachamim, but he said Rav Meir because that's what it says in our Mishnah. So it's not to cause confusion. This is what Gemora said. That's what he said that, and so according to that, the actual halacha that Rav is paskening like is that that if the Goslin steals the Eved and the Eved gets old, he could nevertheless return the Eved as is, because the Chachamim hold that Avda k'mekarkari dami, that an Eved is legally compared to Karka, and just like Karka cannot be stolen, so too the Eved is not stolen. On that, the Gemora is challenging right now at the top of the page. Miyom Rav Avda K'mekarkari Dami. Is that what Rav holds? We have a statement from Rav Daniel bar Rav Katina that Rav said, "Atokef ba'avdo shel chavero ba'osebo malacha pater." If someone grabs his friend's servant and he makes the servant work for him, he does not. He's pater. He's pater on the to pay the owner for the work that he got out of his eved. The Gemara asked, "V'soka daitach avdika mekarkari dami, am I pater?" If it's the case that when he steals the slave, that there's no such thing as taking it out of the domain of the owner, because it's like karka, so then why should he be pater? Rishus de marikoi, he's forever in the domain of the owner. On that, the Gemara said, "Hachamay askinin shelo b'shas malacha." The Gemara said the reason why he's pater is even though he's in the domain of the of the original owner, and Rav really does hold that an Eved is officially regarded as like karka. Nevertheless, there's no compensation to the owner because there was a time that the Eved was not required to work for the owner. That's his. It was the Eved. This Eved, he's got a coffee break. So during his coffee break, he took him, and now like that, he doesn't have to pay the owner. So where's the Haki Hashta? We have to go a little further. Maybe we'll start from here. Ki had the Shalach le Rabbi Abba. Just a few lines up from the Haki Hashta. I don't remember doing this. So Roy, you want to start?
Okay, I hope this is the place. Ki had the Shalach le Rabbi Abba Lamari. Is that it? Ba Ma. This is as the case of that message which Rab Abba sent to Mari Ba Ma. Ba'er Maneh Merav Huna, inquire of Rav Huna, Hadar B'Chatzer Chavera Shalom Meranto. Whether one who dwells in the courtyard of his fellow without the owner's knowledge, Tzorich L'Ha'aros Lo Socha, has to pay him rent. Tzorich L'Ha'alos Socha, or does he not have to pay him rent? V'Shalacho lay, and they sent back to him a reply. Eina tzorich L'Ha'alos Lo Socha. He does not have to pay him rent.
Okay, so he doesn't have to pay in this case. So that's comparable to the case of getting benefit from working the Eved during the coffee break. Is there any Rashi over here? Did we do the Rashi Shalom B'Shas Malacha?
I don't.
No? Let's do that.
Shalom b'shas, that it wasn't the time of the work. The shas she'ino, again at a time which is not usual la'asot malacha, to do work. O she'ein akshav lebale balav malacha la'asot, that now that there is not anything the master wants him to do. That this one benefits from it. And the other one, there's no loss because he was idle anyway. So he's doing work in free time. So the master's not losing anything by the other guy doing work with his Eved. Upata, and he should be pater because he didn't really cause the master a loss because he wasn't doing anything. It was his free time.
Right. Then the hand of a zelo chaser is pater. Okay, and so the same thing applies in the case of this dwelling in the chaser of Chavero. Shalom bidaito. Let's see this next Rashi.
This is what that he wasn't the low Kedishalole, the chule, that it wasn't for him. Chader b'chatzer chavera. It's returned to the. He dwells in the courtyard of his friend. Mokminan is established law. The parak date in the second parak. The chatzer, the lo kaimana, la agra, in a courtyard that is not ready to be sold.
For rental purposes. It's not. It doesn't. Literally, it's not standing for profit. It's not standing to be. It's not available to be used for profit. It's not rented out. So like that, the person that dwells there, he's nehena. He's getting hana. He's getting benefit from the usage of the place. But on the other hand, the owner of the place, ein chaser, he's not losing anything out because in any case, he doesn't rent this area out for profit. And so therefore, in a case like that, the one who's living there does not have to pay for the benefit that he is deriving from the owner of that property.
It's not even like stealing.
Oh, you mean is he allowed to? It says shalom midaito. That's a separate question. The question over here is, does he have to pay for the fact that he was there?
Right.
You're asking, is he allowed to? Is he allowed to live there without the knowledge of the owner?
Oh.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. He's basically borrowing the person's possession and using it without the person's permission, without his knowledge, and therefore not his permission. So
Yeah, but what he's borrowing is also land. So he can't be doing it.
I mean, what would be the reason that the person would be particular about it? He's causing any damage to the property, perhaps?
No, but so what? It's my land. I'm not happy with squatters.
Well,
Whether they're
generally we assume that we generally assume that a Jew would be happy that his property is providing the opportunity for him to do a mitzvah for somebody. So here, this person has nowhere to live, and perhaps we could assume that the other Jew would be happy that he's providing that hospitality to him.
Well,
Unless
I'm not doing it consciously.
okay, true, but nevertheless, he is getting a certain credit for the mitzvah. That's generally the reason why we say that a person would not want to have somebody do something like that, is because he could call, the property has value, and there's of course he's using the property. He's maybe making the walls of the place black with all of his usage and dirtying things up and so on and so forth. You could probably give various reasons why it is that he is in fact it is in fact costing him something that the person is there. As every renter knows about the the people that live in his premises.
Yeah. Besides which, I'm a miserly person, and I don't want anybody touching my things.
So that is interesting because we don't, the person who's living there, he doesn't necessarily have to assume that the person is not interested in doing the mitzvah. If there'd be a reasonable reason why he would not want to do the mitzvah, then he shouldn't go there before he asks him. But barring that, he doesn't have to assume that the person is a person who would not want him to want to have the mitzvah done with his property.
Mhm.
Maybe today things are different.
I think so.
What about borrowing in general? Can I borrow something from somebody if he doesn't know about it?
Well, the thing is here, we said over here that the person doesn't use this property for rental purposes. The property is not being used by him. So he's not losing any opportunity to make use of that property. But in many other situations, you have to know, maybe the person himself wants to use his thing. And by you using it without asking him, he's going to say, where's my thing? I wanted to use it, and now it's not here. So like that, a person wouldn't want it, because he is losing out because you're using. That's not this case. But yeah. But again, the Gemora over here is not discussing the whether he was allowed to do it. The Gemora here is only discussing the issue of, does he have to pay for his staying there? That was the Gemora's question. Okay, so so this is basically the Gemora's answer over here that we've said so far. That Rav, in fact, holds that the Gemora wants to support the fact and defend the fact that Rav holds Avdik Mekarkari Dami, and this matter of taking his friend's evid and using it and not having to pay, that's not inconsistent with that, because the Gemora says it was during his coffee break. So now the Gemora is going to take issue with that. This is the Gemora's next step, Hachi Hashta.
Mhm.
Alan, would you like to read?
Alan, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 lines down on the right-hand column of 97A. 4 lines down, 97A.
97A1.
97A1, yeah. Maybe it's all right.
Okay, Louis, you want to read?
Hachi Ashka. Now, is this a comparison? Bishlema Hasam. It is well understood there. Bain Leman de Amar Besa Mi Yas ka yativ. Let me just get my glasses. It's a little small for me. Whether, according to the one who says, Nichale, an inhabitant house remains habitable. The owner is content. Bain Laman de Amar Ushiya Kutav at Yukas Shar Nichale, or whether, according to the one who says that the exemption from rent is because of the verse, and She'iyah tears down the gate of a vacant house. I don't know what this She'iyah refers to. Oh, it says in Isaiah, it's the name of a demon of destruction.
Yeah.
Alternatively, it means desolation. And the verse is to be rendered, and through desolation, the gate is broken apart. So in other words, there's somebody who says that he's not hurting anything by using the courtyard. And there's somebody that says there's some kind of a wear and tear that's going to happen because he's using it.
No, I think the point is like this. The point is that we're saying, in spite of the wear and tear that a dweller causes to the house, but in the overall picture of things, it's nichale. It's good. It's preferable even to the owner of the premises that he has somebody living there, because like that, this Shia is not going to be attacking over there, and that's what the Gemora said. Beisa miyasba yasim, a house which is occupied is more stable. It's more guarded, and bad things that happen to it less, because there is somebody that's living there. And so that inures to the benefit of the owner of the property. And for that reason, we say that the owner of the chotzer is agreeable to the fact that this person is living there, even though he's not paying.
Okay, so there's two different opinions, both of which come to the same conclusion, which is that it's the owner is content. The first one says that there's no effect, and the second one says that there's a positive effect. Ella hacha mi nicha lei de nichush avdei. But here is he, the master of the slave, content that the slave become weakened?
Yeah.
In other words, the slave is doing work, going to take something out of him.
Right. He's not going to have this. He's taking something out of him, right?
I think
You can't say it's like the case of the courtyard remaining habitable, or the courtyard being protected from the demon.
I think we've got two questions here then. One, if whatever's being done doesn't do any harm, and whatever's being done does harm. So do you, for the slave, by working him, is he going to have harm done to him, or is he going to come out just like he was when he went in to the work, or is he going to come out weakened? So it's just sort of two sides, two questions, A and B.
Well, the Gemora is saying that we're talking about a case where the nikhush abde. That's the case that's how the Gemora understands. That we're talking about a case where the person that does not own the eved is taking him and working him hard, and like that he's weakening the koach of the eved, and therefore the eved will not be able to work for the owner with the same level of ability that it was beforehand. So therefore we see that that's something that the owner of the eved, he would not be agreeable to have somebody use his eved like that. So there's a big difference between using property and using somebody's eved, says the Gemora. And therefore the Gemora asked Hachi Hashta. It's not a good comparison. And so therefore this case the whole answer that the Gemora gave to explain why Rav holds that somebody borrows somebody's eved and he doesn't have to pay for it is the Gemora doesn't like the answer of that he worked there at the time that he was on his coffee break. It's not a good answer, says the Gemora. It's certainly not comparable to the case of certainly not comparable to that case, where in that case the Gemora says he doesn't have to pay. That case we understand that he doesn't have to pay because it's agreeable and even beneficial for the owner to have this person living there. Whereas in the case, so therefore we could understand that that's the din over there. He doesn't have to pay. But in this case over here, where he's just working the eved, that's not for the benefit of the owner of the eved. And so who says that should be the explanation of why he's patur according to Rav? Right, we still are trying to explain why it is that Rab said that somebody takes somebody's eved and he works him and he's going to be patur. We now don't have any answer for that. Why is it that Rab says he's patur? If we're especially if we're trying to say that Rab holds that an eved is like karka. Okay. So now the Gemora is going to try to attempt to give another answer. Okay, who's there to read the answer? Roy, you want to continue?
Okay. Amare, they said, this is the Gemara's answer. They said, "Hache nami neka le delo lissatire avadei." Here, too, the master is content that this person is working with his slave during the off hours, so that his slave not become habituated to leisure. There you are. The they said is the they is who, the Rabbanim?
Oh, who's the Amre? That's an interesting question you're asking. Who's the Amre? Whenever the Gemara says Amre, who's the one who's talking? The Yoshvei Beis HaMedrash. They were the ones that learned in the Beis Medrash. They were the ones that offered this answer. And even though they may not be the great, well-known Rabbanim of the Talmud, it's not Ravina that said it. It's not Rav Ashi that said it. It's not Rav Papa, but it's the Yoshvei Beis HaMedrash. They're also important. And the Gemora records their answer. This is their answer. And in fact, this answer is going to be the winning answer. Because this, what is this? What do we accomplish over here? We accomplished by saying, in a Hanami, it is in fact something that is desired by the owner of the Eved. He does want this. So, in other words, the case of the Eved is yes comparable to the case of the dweller in the person's courtyard without his knowledge. Both cases are cases where the owner of the Eved, the owner of the property, it's nichale, it is agreeable and acceptable to him, the owner, that his Eved should be taken and worked with. Why? Why does he want his Eved to be worked with? Isn't he concerned that his Eved is going to get overly tired and overly worked out and everything like that? So the Yoshvei Beis HaMedrash, those that sit in the Beis HaMedrash, says no. The owner wants that he should be used to working hard, because somebody who's used to working hard works better than somebody who's not used to working hard. Somebody gets used to not working hard, he's going to get used to not working hard, and he's going to not work hard. So we want to have an Eved who's used to working hard. So I don't know what that does for the coffee break, but that's
the union.
That's up to the union, right? That's up to the union. I mean, every Eved, with all jokes aside, every Eved of course he has to rest a certain amount of time. Of course he's got to rest.
That's mandated anyway, isn't it? By the way the Torah tells us to treat slaves.
Well, actually, when it comes to an Eved Kanani, the pasuk says, "La'olam behem ta'avodu." They should work for their owner forever. It didn't sound like he had the union on his side over there.
And what about an Ivri slave?
That's a different story.
Right.
That's a different story. But yeah. As a matter of fact, right? That's why the Eved Kanani, well, that's an interesting question. An Eved Kanani, is he obligated to keep Shabbos? Yes, he is, because he's chayiv in mitzvahs ka'isha. He's chayiv in the same mitzvahs that an isha is. That's interesting. So it's not considered that he's being lazy to not work on Shabbos. He's obligated to be shomer Shabbos. That's what I would understand.
What about Hebrew servants on Shabbos?
It's actually not so simple, because I think the Gemora discusses this about whether an Eved Kanani is supposed to rest on Shabbos like a Jew. On the one hand, he's got the mitzvahs of a isha, but on the other hand, he's not a Jew, and the Hashem gave the Shabbos as a matana to the Jewish people. And if, as a matter of fact, it says Goy Shabbat is chayiv misa, a non-Jew, a full-fledged non-Jew who's not chayiv in the mitzvahs that an Eved Kanani is, right? An Eved Kanani is chayiv in more mitzvahs than an ordinary Goy is. So an ordinary Goy, it's absolutely forbidden for him to be shomer Shabbos. He's chayiv misa, says the Gemora in Sanhedrin. Okay. So that's, now do we have any Rashi over here to finish up? We have a few Rashis over here. Besa Miyaspa Yosef.
Ubesa miyas sub yasi. That's the house that you're living in. The house remains living in. Zeh hadar betocho. This one lives within it. Fahanahu, he benefits from this house. Shehu Yumushev, because he dwells b'diurin in its house. He dwells in a dwelling.
Right. Zehadar batoko, the one who dwells inside. Hehanu l'bayzeh. He is providing benefit to this house. Shehu miyushav b'diurin, in the sense that it is now miyushav. It is now settled and dwelled with diurim. That's what they say, actually, that people that buy a house or they wanted I think there's a svara like this. They say they want that somebody should be living in the house, because that way they know that the electricity works, and they know that this works and that works and that works, because the guy who's living there, he wants to make sure that he wants to live in a house that works. And so if somebody buys the house from that guy, that there was somebody that was living in the house, so he knows that these things work. Okay. Next Rashi.
Yativ.
She'iyah.
No, there's
Yosif. Yeah, you're right. Yosif.
Yossi. It's also dwelling.
Oh, that's the one that we did. We just did that one, no?
No, there's another one. It's Yossi by itself.
Oh, okay.
That's Ein Cherev, that it won't be destroyed. With Isha Hadar, because he's dwelling in it. So it's gonna, if somebody's living in it, it's protection against somebody destroying the house if it looks uninhabited. The Toho. What is this? Tam?
Tos umeshapetz
Tus
zitkeh hatamid.
should stake the tummy. That's like cleaning up. Tas is like I don't know. That's
He's
not
doing
like
shiputzim.
he is. He's shopping. He's fixing.
Right? Somebody lives in the house.
He's
He
always
does
fixing the
shiputzim,
cracks.
so the house is nice.
I'm sorry, you were both talking. Could you say that again, Rabbi?
So Rashi's saying over here,
He's like putting plaster on it and fixing the cracks. Always, he's doing repairs on the house since he's always living in it.
yeah. So that's the advantage of having somebody live in the house, that he makes it livable, because he's living there. He wants to live in a house that's livable, which if he wouldn't be there, what would happen to the house? Who's going to fix the cracks? Who's going to fix the leak in the roof when it rains? Who's going to do that? There's nobody there to do that. Nobody cares. So therefore, the owner likes the fact that this guy is there. Okay. Now, the question is whether you could charge him for his repair. I don't know, but that's another matter. But that's what the Gemora says. Okay, 12:31. Yashikoyak to everyone.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Take care. Thanks.
Right, thank you.
Day.
Be well. Have a good day, everybody.
Bye.
Suras Toivos, Yeshuos, V'nechamos.
Amen.